Remember this day, man, for it will be yours for all time. We have shown them that a trembling hand can become a fist. We have challenged the idea that a slave must always know his place, accepting rod and lash because he was taught to accept it. We built their mighty republic with our hands and our blood and our lives. And we can see it fall at equal cost. You opened my eyes to this, Spartacus.
This is how you know you're dealing with somebody who can be trusted. The way you know you're dealing with somebody who can be trusted is somebody who treats people right that they don't currently need. Because when a person knows that they need you, they will treat you right, they will act right by you. But when they don't know they need you, they'll walk right past you like you're nothing. But God is going to make sure that they have to come back and ask you for bread.
We all want to be a beast. Do you know what a beast is? A beast is someone who can walk through hell and be grateful that their legs are working. A beast is someone who has lost everything, but they are grateful for the opportunity to get everything back plus more. A beast is somebody who has hit rock bottom and says, this is amazing, it's only up from here. That's a beast.
Sometimes you just feel tired, you feel weak, and when you feel weak, you feel like you want to just give up. But you gotta search within you, try to find that inner strength and just pull that shit out of you and get that motivation to not give up and not be a quitter, no matter how bad you want to just fall flat on your face. Till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem. Subliminal thoughts when I'ma stop spinning them. Women are caught in web, spin them in hawk venom. Adrenaline shots, the penicillin could not get the illin to stop. Amoxicillin's just not real enough. The criminal cop killing hip-hop, filling a minimal swap to cop. Millions of pop listeners, you're coming with me, feel it or not. You're gonna fear it like I showed you. The spirit of God lives in us. You hear it a lot, lyrics to shock. Is it a miracle or am I just product of pop? Listen up, the sizzle, my whistle, this is the plot. Listen up, you pistols for God, Slizzle does not give a fuck.
Comes off, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit, till my bones, till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit, till my bones.
Music is like magic, there's a certain feeling you get when you reel and you spit, and people are feeling your shit. This is your moment, and every single minute you spend trying to hold on to it, cause you may never get it again. So while you're in it, try to get as much shit as you can, and when your run is over, just admit when it's in its end. Cause I'm at the end of my wits with half the shit that gets in. I got a list, here's the order of my list that it's in. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas, and Demi. But in this industry, I'm the cause of a lot of envy. So when I'm not put on this list, the shit does not offend me. That's why you see me walk around like nothing's bothering me. Even though half you people got a fucking problem with me. You hate it, but you know respect you got to give me. The presence wet dream like Bob and your Whitney. Nay, hit me.
Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit, till my bones, till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit, till my bones.
As soon as a verse starts, I eat it at MC's heart. What is he thinking? I'm not to go against me smart, and it's absurd how people hang on every word. I'll probably never get the props I feel I ever deserve, but I'll never be served. My spot is forever reserved. If I ever leave Earth, that would be the death of me first. Cause in my heart of hearts, I know nothing could ever be worse. That's why I'm clever when I put together every verse. My thoughts are sporadic. I act like I'm an addict. I rap like I'm addicted to smack like I'm Kim Mathers. But I don't wanna go forth and back in constant battles. The fact is I would rather sit back and bomb some rappers. So this is like a full-blown attack. I'm launching at him. The track is on some battle and raps who want some static. Cause I don't really think that the fact that I'm slim matters. A black and platinum status is whack if I'm not the baddest.
Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my leg give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. Am I high? I'ma rip this shit till my bones color, till the roof comes on, till the lights go out, till my leg give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. Am I high? I'ma rip this shit till my bones color, until the roof comes on, the roof comes on, until my leg from underneath me. I will not fall. I will stand tall. Feels like no one can beat me.
Inhale the chat. Gentlemen, we need to have a talk today. Between you and me and my men. You know what we've been through. We know what it's like. We've been through narcissistic abuse. We dealt with a narcissistic female. We dealt with a woman who does not respect her body, does not respect the truth, does not respect what you bring to the table, does not respect you, will lie on you, cheat on you, smear you. A narcissistic woman who does not live in reality and will use their femininity to distort any truths to anyone. Take a snapshot of truth when you have talked back to that bitch because she deserved to be talking back to, and frame it in lies and play the victim. You have been through it. We've been through it. We've been through the smear campaigns. We've been through this slag running around talking about us, telling lies, distorting the truth, not even living in reality. We have been through a woman who has done what? Gotten in the way of seeing our kids, gotten in the way of our prosperity, sucks our funds, comes around, waves her vagina at us just so that she can dip herself into our wallet, into our lives, and remove our energy and power. We've been through it, my brothers. We've been through the emasculation. We've been talked about. We've seen how these nasty, horrible females gather up others, other hateful people, other toxic people to smear your name, to ruin you. Every attempt, never taking any accountability for what they do, sleeping around with everybody that they can. We've been through it, brothers. We know. We understand. And how did that leave us? It leave us not believing in ourselves and not wanting to be in love again, being guarded, questioning our masculinity. It left us broken. It left us battered as we watched our friends turn away from us, as we watched people who played and acted like our friends turn from us. While we were left alone, dying, wanting to die, smeared, destroyed, emasculated. And we had to pick ourselves back up step by step, work ourselves back up into being someone that we are proud of. We know what it's like. And we have the strength to do it. We have the fortitude. We have the understanding of what our potential is, that we can claw back up out of a toxic relationship with a slag-ass female who doesn't value herself, doesn't value what a real man brings to the table. We clawed. We kept working on ourselves. We kept trying. We kept growing. We kept pushing. Brothers, we got to do this one more time. We got to do this one more time because we have to push through the pain. Once again, we have to dig down deep. We have to fake it till we make it if we have to. We have to understand our worth and grow and prosper and be shining examples of what a man is, because our sisters need that. Our mothers, our cousins, our females, our sisters out there who have been through the same thing we had. Been with a terrible ass abusive man, beating her ass, controlling her, making her feel like she's not worth her. She is not her own worth. These daughters of the goddess, these ladies out here that have been destroyed and distorted by a man who's more like a toxic woman than a man, a trifling female with a penis. trying to use sex as leverage, trying to control that woman, beating up her car, taking her phone, beating her up, smearing her name, destroying her worth. Those narcissistic men are not men. They are toddlers in a grown body, just like every other narcissist. Narcissistic men are the dredge of humanity. They are the worst. They are the most pitiful. They are weak. They live in lies. They can't accept who they are, to the point where a lot of them run out and have sex with other dudes because they can't even be be real about themselves. My brothers and sisters, we have had enough of these narcs. But my brothers, I'm talking to you today. Today we have to reach down. Today we have to push forward. Today we have to stand as examples to our ladies out here of that there are real men out there. There are real men that exist. There are men who value women, who value our sisters, who want to uplift them, protect them. We are here to protect the tribe. We are here to look out for our women, not hurt them. We ain't narc dudes. We ain't going to midnight interludes with a dude at a truck stop. We're not cheating on these females and then pointing a finger at them and calling them liars like they got issues. We're not out here trying to hold them down. We want to uplift our sisters. We want to be there for these ladies, real ladies. And we're going to have to push through it again, brothers. We're going to have to push through it again. The pain that we have been through, the subjugation, being forced to capitulate to a crazy female who wants to use her toxicness, the projection of femininity, which is a falsehood, in order to break us down, cast dispersions, make us feel like we're not worth what we have always been worth. We got to push through that, brothers. We got to keep it on. We got to keep it pushing. We got to make sure that these narcs out here do not win. We've got to make sure that these narcissists out here, with their lies and their fake faces and their stories and their bullshit, are not trying in any way to lead the pack, because they are not worth it. They are not part of it. They are not in the pack. They are lone weasels, not wolves. We, brothers, we are the lions. We are the wolves. We are the leaders of the pack. What toxic people want to do? Toxic people want to break you down. They want you to doubt yourself. They want to spread lies. They want to get together in hateful clusters of manginas and biddies and slags, and they want to tear you down. They want to tear down your reputation. They want to make you feel less than you are worth. They want to spread their pain. But we do not do that. Real people do not do that. Real men lead by example. Real men do not hurt our sisters. Real men do not hurt women in order to feel control, in order to elevate themselves, in order to facilitate their facade, their false ego. Real men don't do that. Real men lead by example. We love, we protect, we hunt, we build, we create. That's what we do. We stand by strength. It is time, brothers, for us to push past the pain, push beyond the past. We are not what these narcissists have tried to make us out to be. We are not their lies. We are not their smear campaigns. We are not the dregs that they are. They broke us down because they needed to feed off our lights. They broke us down because they feel like trash. They broke us down because they are garbage human beings, and every one of their flying monkeys and every toxic cosigner. It is time for us to push back, to rise. It's time for us to rise, brothers. We need to lead by example. We need to let our sisters know there are real men out here. There are men out here who have real hearts, who value what women bring to the table. Healthy women, not narcissistic women. It's time to not let those nasty narcopaths, those toxic women, those narcissistic covert narcs All of them, whatever classification their disorder may be, they can take that disorder and they can stick it where the sun don't shine, just like those ladies do with every pogo stick they come across, because they are not part of our lives. They are lies. They are illusion. We are willpower and strength, brothers. We get things done. We work on ourselves. We do the hard work of introspection, shadow work to fix ourselves and elevate and raise ourselves spiritually, physically, mentally. We are the emotional juggernauts who can own who we are and continue to push and press. We own our shit. We make corrections. We change our attitudes. We look at a positive progression. We are here to build, to love, to create, and to lead. And that's what our ladies need. Too many times, time and time again, my brothers, too many times, I go through my comments on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, on all Dragonstorm platforms, and I'm seeing these wonderful, beautiful, giving, healthy, empathetic, intelligent ladies, our sisters, who have been put through the ringer with false promises, with false adulation and falsehoods to make them feel like they are not worth what they are worth. Do you know what that means, brothers? Do you understand what that means? That means that there are entire swaths, entire hosts of good women out there who are being used by manipulative liars, closet gay, wannabe men, toddlers in adult bodies, ruining these sisters, ruining these women, cheating on them, spreading STDs, hitting, putting their hands on our sisters. Trifling ass, garbage ass men, not worth a squirt of piss if they were on fire. And they continue to be out there going after our ladies, going after our females, going after these sisters, these loving hearts, to destroy them. That's not a man. That's a grown toddler. We are men, my brothers. We are men. So it's time to push past the pain, my brothers. It's time to push past it, to elevate, to keep pushing, to grow, to better ourselves, to own our shit, to fix ourselves, and to continue on, because we must lead by example. We must show these wonderful ladies out here who have also given up on love that there are real men out here. There are loving men out here. This is our job now. This is our job. And it's just as simple, brothers, as leading by example. It is just as simple as fixing yourself, as pushing forward, as owning the truth, as being the true divine masculine that you are. It is as simple. It is as simple as bettering yourself and being here for our sisters in recovery. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I understand we're all hurt. I've been there. I wanted to die. I've been hoovered time and time again. I was triangulated with a pitiful ass, lying, abusive, childlike, whining piece of shit. I understand. Hope you didn't have to go through that. I understand the emasculation. I too was emasculated. But we're going to have to push through that, my brothers. We're going to have to push through it. Because our children, our families, our sisters need this. That's what we're talking about today. 20 minutes in, I'm on my high horse preaching. Today, author Stephen Walton and Immortal Coil will be visiting our good friends at Sporking News Podcast tonight. Please, guys, subscribe to Sporking News Podcast. And then we are stopping by Hail Trans Fat, our brother, Snow Dub Music and Entertainment, before we move on to Savage Spirituality on Immortal Coil's channel. And please don't forget to stop by tomorrow for the Sage and the Savage. We are covering Professor Sam Vaknin. Learned a lot about this dude. Coil and I were doing a little bit of research. Can't wait to present to y'all our thoughts on this gentleman, who himself has borderline and NPD. And and I love it. I love it when people who have conditions turn it around, heal themselves, do the work on themselves. See, that's the difference between us real men out here and these narcissistic worms. Real men work on themselves. Real men own their shit. Real men keep it pushing. Real men bring to the table. We go out and we produce. We lend financial support not because we are trying to control a woman, but because we are providing for a family. This is our function. This is what we do. Real men, when they put their hands on a woman, is to hold her hand, is to cradle her head, occasionally to pull her hair and give her a little bit of choke, but that's only with consent. Real men don't put their hands on a woman to hurt them. Real men don't hit a woman with a fist. Real men don't choke women out of anger. Real men do not act like grown worms. Real men push forward. Hell, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for being here. Papa, stop with the negativity out there. You got to stop. Better yourself for yourself. No, 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 no. If women are the goal you've already lost, that is a toxic way of thinking, sir. I'm sorry, I got to call you out today. No, that's a toxic way of thinking. That is the kind of thinking that leads to men whipping women's asses. That is the type of thinking that leads to devaluing women. That is the type of thinking that is negative and toxic, and that is not what we do here. No, my goal is to lead by example. My goal is to make sure that the sisters out here who have been hurt by toxic men are not continuing to be hurt. My goal is to lead, grow, and better myself so that these ladies understand there are real men out here. That is toxic. My brothers, let me say hail to the chat real quick. Immortal Coil is in the chat. Hail. Hail, brother. Going to be stopping by Immortal Coil later tonight. Going to be stopping over there, Savage Spirituality, guys. Please join us. Immortal Coil and I, as I said, are going to be on Sporking News Podcast, and we're also going to be on Snow Dub Music and Entertainment. Hail Trans Fat. Can't wait to see that. Deborah Cohen is in the chat. What's up, Deborah? Good to see you. Part of the Dragonstore team. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you very much for being here. What's it, Drizzle? What do you got? Some rain going on out there? You trying? Look, I'm not. We ain't hitting on sisters today. With this, that's not what we're doing. We're being real men today. Immortal Coil. I don't know exactly what you're saying. The Train Wreck Express is coming through, but we got to get to 50,000 for that. Sergeant Pepper's in the chat. What is up? Hey, Lodo. Hey, sister. It is good to see you. Hail to you. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate you guys. Remember to share out the link and hit that like button. Rick Bowden, a psychologist in the inner lives of men, exploring and writing about men's issues, masculine psychology, and recovery of trauma, helping men who feel stuck in their lives moving again. Well, that's something I think that Coyle and I will cover in the future. Definitely going to cover that in the future. It come off negative, bro. It comes off negative. Well, you got to actually share the link. Yeah. So it's not a nigga thing to say, I don't agree with what you're doing. Oh, well, I mean, I don't agree with what you're doing. So the best revenge against narcissists to work on yourself, better yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brothers, you understand what it's like to deal with a narcissistic woman. You understand what it's like to deal with that. And brothers out there who are homosexual, if you've dealt with a narcissistic man, God help you too. You know what it's like to be put down, to be triangulated by someone whom you cared about, someone that you loved, someone that you put 110% into, that you kept on believing in, and you kept on pushing forward and loving. You know what it's like to deal with someone who does not value what you bring. These ladies go through the same thing. These narcissistic worms out here, these fake ass men. You understand? And this is why it is so very important for we as men to lead by example and be supportive. It is our function as divine masculine to do this, to be the hunters, the protectors of the tribe. It is our job as the divine masculine to build and create and protect. Too many people hurt out here, men and women. Too many people are hurt through toxic relationships. And part of the problem being through a toxic relationship is not fixing yourself. And it's a very difficult thing to work on yourself, to realize what issues you have to look inward and face those things and do the shadow work. It's hard. And men got a lot of pride. I'm not saying women don't either, but today I'm mainly talking to my men out there. We got a lot of pride. And it's hard to face who you are and understand how you have manifested these toxic women in your life. I know I did. I had to figure that out. I did that time and time again, brothers. Time and time again in my life. That's not to say I didn't have one or two good women come through my life, but they didn't stick around because I needed to fix me. I need to work on me. Stop being so prideful. Stop being destructive, self-destructive, self-sabotaging. Stop looking at love and relationships in such a way to where I was destroying the very thing that I was seeking to find. It's hard to do that shadow work. It's hard. It's difficult to do that. But understand that if you, most times, when you find that narc or that narc finds you, or you believe in somebody who was going to sabotage and destroy you, it's because of something broken inside of you, because of something that we did. It's because of an issue that we have inside. And society ain't helping. Society is definitely not helping, at least today's society, with feminism. Feminism destroys women. Feminism destroys women in its attempt to destroy men. That comes from hateful, misandrist, nasty women who hate themselves and therefore hate others. I mean, frankly, in my opinion, the egotistical nature, the megalomania, the narcissism that runs in modern feminism, the misandry, that's too much. They don't want men to roll. They don't want men to operate in their traditional roles. And they absolutely don't want women to operate in the way that women always have. And that is as far as the mainstay. There's always exceptions to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule. I'm a great believer in the random 1%. But there are institutions out there, political movements, there are people out there in your media who are trying to confuse gender roles, who are trying to distort what it is to be a man, what it is to be a woman, because of their own sickness, their own disorders. People in power. Remember, there's a lot of psychos and narcissists in positions of power, in government, CEOs. There are because they crave power in order to use to control others, to cast an illusion, to be able to smear people easily, to be able to lie and propagate that lie and try and make it the truth, but it can never be the truth. The truth is, we are all different, but there are mainstays in exactly who we are. And as far as being a real men do not hit women. Real men do not punish them, leave them at home, isolate them from friends, keep them away from others, smear their names, abuse them financially, mentally, physically, sexually. Real men do not do that. That's a worm. We sit for no fools here at Dragonstorm. So it's up to us, brothers. It is up to us to lead by example. It is up to us to work on ourselves, better ourselves, to be real men. And even if just by proxy, even if it is just by that example, letting our sisters, our mothers, our cousins, our females out here know that there are real men who will not devalue them on sight. Use them. We exist. We're out here. Good men are out here with real hearts who love and want to be a part of a family, want to be that father, who want to take women out on a nice date, who want to love them for their femininity, their divine femininity. We're out here. We exist. We got to fix ourselves, brothers. We got to fix, we got to get past, we got to push through the pain, fake it till you make it if you have to. We got to push through and be the best versions of ourselves. This is how healing is done. This is how we are going to continue on. This is how we are going to help heal others and bring them to their best self. Leading by example, working on you, being the best version of who you can be. It's very much important. And you have to do it. You have to do it for you. You have to do it for you. You have to want to be a better person. You have to want to push forward. You want to do that because your children are looking up at you, your family's looking at you, your friends, the people that you gravitate, the healthy people that you gravitate to you, people that help to build your life, want to be a part of your life, want to build themselves. We're not looking to drain you, not energy vampires, not people who want to use you. It's so very important to work on ourselves and do it for you. Too many times, guys, too many times I look through Instagram, man, and my TikTok and my YouTube comments. I see a lot of strength out there. I see a hell of a lot of strength out there. People that have gone no contact, people who don't deal with them Hoover and hobgoblins, people who stay away from those who have abused us, people who have learned their lessons and will not accept less than their worth. Now, I've also seen a lot of broken people, and it hurts my heart because I've been there too. It hurts my heart to see people that say, I no longer believe in love. I cannot trust anyone. I don't even know who I am anymore. People that have been broken by narcissists, toxic, psychopathic, malignant, sociopathic, people that don't care who they hurt. And they're going to get theirs. They will get theirs in the end. Trust and believe they will get theirs. You cannot escape karma. But the damage that they do to those of us who have soft hearts and weak boundaries is just too much. What you do when you come through this experience, brothers and sisters, what you do is you heal yourself. You've got to be strong. You take these things as lessons. You understand what it was in you that attracted a toxic person, what it was in you that allowed yourself to be duped. Did you have a soft heart and weak boundaries? I want to share a video with you right now. I was going to play in the beginning, but I think this brother, I'm on the same plane as this brother right here.
You know, I realized that soft hearts need strong boundaries. It's like, I let you off on the nearest exit if I let you stress me out. And I've experienced way too much chaos in my life, pain in my life, stress in my life. And peace has become my biggest priority now. I need to make sure that I'm my main source of my own peace. But I also need to be surrounded with people who add value to my life, peace to my life, elevate my life. It's a soul craving. And I try to do my best to not let nothing move me. The truth is, I just realized that peace isn't the absence of problems, it's the presence of purpose. Truth is, peace isn't the absence of hard times, it's in having that faith, that knowing that those hard times won't last. Truth is, peace doesn't mean that you won't have hard times, it just means that those hard times won't have you. I hope that helped. But maybe, just maybe, you don't need to stress, chase, or worry, because what's truly meant for you will flow into your life effortlessly. I don't know. Hope that you can see that as your new truth. Love. On God.
Thank you, Bob. I love that man. That was a wonderful message. It is our job to lead by example. And for leading by example is fixing yourself, knowing your worth, understanding who is worth your time and who is not worth your time. That is the most important thing. Leading by example is working on yourself, being the best version of who you are, my brothers. And stop blaming women. Stop blaming women. You are a toxic man if you are blaming women. You are a toxic man if you believe that a woman does not have any value after she hits, quote unquote, the wall. You are not a healthy man if you are not respecting the divine feminine. That's what narcissistic men do. Too many times I see these comments, brother. Too many times. Too many times, my brothers, I see these comments out here from toxic men who are just blame shifting. Blame shift, blame shift, blame shift. Real men take care of the families. Real men take care of the home. Real men provide. This is our function. This is what we do. We have done this in a healthy way since the beginning of time. There's too many times. If we stop and we give up on ourselves, and we stop being the best version of who we are, if we stop doing that, then these liars, these users, these men who don't take accountability are going to win. That's going to be the overwhelming message. Hell, the chat. What's up? Illuminate Manuscripts, what's going on? Namaste, brother. You know, Mortal Coil told me that Namaste is like the most, I forget exactly how he put it. Put it in the chat, Coil. He said it was something like, I respect you, I respect me, go fuck yourself. It was something like that. I don't know. You tell me. Because when I hear that, that's what I think now. It's like it's a pleasant middle finger. I don't know. Coil might have led me wrong. I don't know. Coil might have led me astray. Because he's actually the sage and I'm the savage. We were talking about that last night. We were researching Professor Sam Vaknin. Illuminating Manuscript says, there are toxic pieces of shit and amazingly light and beautiful souls in both genders. Truth is beyond gender, race, etc. Exactly. Thank you, Hale. Yes. Yes. Today I am focusing on my men out there, my brothers, but that statement is absolutely true. That statement is absolutely true. And if we stop trying to better ourselves, especially those of us that have been hurt, those who have been through narcissistic abuse, if we just give up, if we give up on love, if we give up on ourselves, if we just trust in the fact that we don't trust, what are you manifesting? You're manifesting the fact that you don't trust in love and you don't trust in yourself. That's a negative way of being. We can't exist like that. You can't give up. You can't give up like my boy Zombie Box Reviews. Hail Andy. Andy don't give up. Andy is one of the best sons we got out here, one of the best brothers we got out here. I don't want to go into too much detail. All I'm going to say is my brother Zombie Box takes care of his family, sacrifices his time, his energy, just gruelingly to support his loved ones. Like a real man. Hail to the real men out there. Hail, brother. Thank you for being here. Anytime, my man. Anytime. You look at this narcissistic, toxic people out there smearing others. Okay, think of the energy it takes. Imagine this, all right? You all been through it with a narcissist. Imagine the energy that it takes to cover up your lies, to gather up other people, to smear another person. Imagine the energy it takes to come together in clusters of toxic people in order to devalue and bring down another. I understand this. I go through it constantly. A lot of haters out there don't want to see a person shine. And imagine the energy that it takes in order to devalue another person. We can do better for ourselves by taking that example of wasted energy and putting it in a positive direction. Uplifting one another. Reminding ourselves of our worth while helping our brothers and sisters out here. Looking out for each other. That's what Dragonstorm community is all about. The exact opposite of a smear campaign. This is a hope campaign. Belief in yourself, knowing your worth, understanding who you are. Uplifting each other. I don't care what your race is, what your gender is, how you identify, who you sleep with. I don't care where you come from, what language you speak. If you are a fellow human being out here who has been through the fire, who has had to raise yourself up higher, you are welcome to Dragonstorm community because that's what we are doing here. This is the purpose of my channel. This is the purpose of us as a community of people coming together to help uplift one another, to remind one another of our worth, to be there in the hardest of times. Immortal Coil is there for me in the hardest of times. Sporking News Podcast is there for me in the most difficult of times. Eats Up Wakuian and the Place to Be Reviews has been there for me in the hardest of times, much like Tina Bojan, Stark of Iron, DJ Odyssey. There are people out there who are your support system. Mortal Coil reminds me every day, don't text a bitch. Don't text a bitch. And I've reinforced him where he needs it because I understand his worth and he understands mine and what we are trying to build here. The same thing with Zombie Box Reviews, the same thing with Illuminating Manuscripts, Deborah Cohen and Sergeant Pepper and every other person in the Dragonstorm community. Brothers, we know what these women have been through because we've been through it too. And we can't give up. We can't let our light be dimmed. We cannot let ourselves stop pushing forward because it's going to hurt. It always has. And yeah, the weight has always been on us, the men, to push forward, to just accept the pain and keep it pushing and keep moving and push through it and build and grow and prosper no matter what it is we are dealing with, no matter how cracked the foundation has to be. This is what we have always had to do, and we are going to continue to do so because on the other end of that, if we be what we need to be, if we are strong brothers, these women will have our back. These women will see that value and they will feel value in themselves and they will do what they naturally want to do, what they need to do innately, support us. Bring back the hold on, Coil, I'm trying to be, I gotta go on the camera here. Coil. I'm being positive today. I'm being rah men. All right. Listen, is it masculine? I guess bring back dueling would be masculine, isn't it? I guess that would be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Camera's off. Hold on, y'all. I guess so. I love you, Coil. There's Deborah out there. Keep shining. That's it. You got to keep shining, believing in yourself. Women have always been traditionally the backbone of the home. They're the emotional centers. They're our mothers. They're our sisters. They are the ones out there who support us. But when I see y'all ladies go through these toxic relationships with these self-hating, lying goblins masquerading as men, and I see and I hear y'all giving up on love, and I hear y'all giving up on your hearts. That is your function. Your function is to make us men be comfortable enough, be trusting enough to be emotional, because that's not exactly our strength. That's your strength. That's my sister's strength. That's your strength out there to help us to be that support system, to be that motherly force. And it is what it is that men look for. And you can't perform that job if we men are not stepping up and being real men like my boy Mike does. MC Mike does in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Talking to my brothers today. What's up, man? Here's another gentleman who has pushed through the pain, who has kept it going, who has kept his belief in himself. Dealt with a narcissistic woman, dealt with narcissistic family members, dealt with toxic people who tried to bring Mike down. And Mike said, no, he's going to keep pushing forward because that's what men do. We push through the pain, we build, we grow. We are examples. We are the backbones. Man, it's good to see you, Mike. Thank you for being here. That's right, Dan. Hoovering hobgoblins. Imagine the energy that it takes, brother, for a toxic woman or man, but for a to come back around, to have exhausted supply, to have exhausted destroying people in another sector of their life, and then come back around to abuse somebody some more, to abuse a man some more, to take advantage of him, to financially drain him, to destroy his life, to use and abuse that man for their own selfish gains. hoovering hobgoblins. That's what they are. That's what they are. That's right, Mike. Mike prefers happiness. And that's the mission statement for us. Right? I prefer happiness myself. I am so glad. It is now what 12 days. 12 days no contact for me. 12 days no contact. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zip. Not a text. Not a phone call. Ain't nobody showed up at my door with another narcissist in tow to get me into a fight. None of it. None of it. And I'm happier for it. I prefer happiness. I prefer the way that my sons look at me now. I prefer the way that my brothers and sisters feel about me now. The opportunities that are opening up in my life, the opportunities that God is allowing to open up in my life once again, because I am no longer suffering any fools. Love you, man. Mike also says, narcs only offer hate and offense. That's right. What else do they have? What else does a narcissistic person have to offer? What else does what is their function in life? To be a piece of shit. That's their function. To lie, to smear, to destroy. That's their function. We don't need that in our lives. We're better than that. We have things to do. We have things to produce. We have belief in ourselves. We have examples to lead by so that we can allow our friends, our family, and those around us to feel that light, to see that light and shine, and to be inspired themselves. Hell, brother. That's exactly. Narcissists do not offer you anything but destroying who you are. That's what they want to consume your light. See, a narc looks at your light and sees, that looks tasty, and then comes in there, fakes themselves into your life, and then begins to break you down. Because like any animal who is digesting something, they have to break down their food in order to digest it. So a narcissist lives on negativity and drama and trauma because they are unhealed. Their selfishness, they are selfishly unhealed. They ain't trying to work on themselves. They ain't trying to better themselves. They're not trying to lead by example. They're not trying to be a better person. A narcissist wants to spread pain all over. They don't give a damn about their kids. They got their kids in the house with a whole bunch of abuse going on. They got their kids watching them as they run back to an abusive person, as they spread in STDs, as they're destroying and annihilating and alienating people. That's all that's their life. That is their life. What a sad existence, Mike. My boy MC Mike does. What a sad existence. For too long, myself, I allowed those destructive forces to bring me down, to take me away from my purpose. But in actuality, those people led me to my purpose. This Dragonstorm, y'all, this community, this is my purpose. Helping to heal and helping to grow and helping others to understand their worth by knowing mine. And this is the example that we brothers must show constantly, working on ourselves, bettering ourselves. Too many ladies out here, Mike, that have been through what we've been through, that don't believe in love no more, that don't believe there are good men out here. But here we are. Here's you and me and Andy and Immortal Coil and CJH. What is up, brother? It's good to see you. CJH, hail the fourth wave. How are you doing, my brother? Sergeant Pepper says, Sam Akin says that narcissists are pretty close to being psychotic. I believe it. Yeah, I mean, now we're going to cover him tomorrow. We're doing a profile of Sam Akin tomorrow, and it was very interesting reading his Wikipedia because he's diagnosed. He's diagnosed borderline, narcissistic borderline, I believe was the diagnosis. But he would understand. And I don't want to get too much into it today because the Mortal Coil and I are covering it tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, just the energy that it takes for a person to live in those lives. Sergeant Pepper, I literally beat a narcissist's ass. Embarrassingly controlled this entire, didn't it? All right. And when I say beat his ass, I mean, I controlled the fight from start to finish to when he was on the ground. The only thing this bitch could do was bite. All right. I controlled it. The opposite of what a narc wants. What a narc can do. A narc wants control. They control through fear. I controlled through strength. And the energy that it took for this grown toddler to stand up after the fight and go, I got sucker punched. I got sucker punched. Like lying, just lying, living in a warped world of illusion, just lying. No reality. And then the woman that he was controlling, who wanted to be controlled, doing a smear stream again about Walton, lying her ass off. Ladies, ladies, if you are in a relationship with a narcissistic dude who's putting his hands on you, abusing you in any way, shape, or form, you are better than that. Hitting is not love. You are better than that. Keep it pushing and move on, because there's real men out here. Yes, I can't wait to go into this, and we're going to be talking about that very subject. Can't wait. CJH says the flying monkey was asking for nudes from the narc sister. Uh-oh. A flying monkey was asking for nudes from the narc sister. Toxic people run in toxic cycles, CJ. Toxic, especially toxic men, manginas. We're just going to call them manginas. Toxic men are manginas. Manginas do not respect themselves, and they believe they are way better than they are. And they actually think that being toxic, that being that type of toxic is being masculine. They actually believe that sitting in groups with other hateful women and talking trash is masculine. Like, that's how weak they are. That is that is disgusting. That is disgusting. You will notice that toxic people run in the same cycles. They run in the same circles, types of people. This is why it's very important, y'all, to understand who you're running with. Understand who you're running with. All right. Surround yourself with only positive people. Those of us who have been through narcissistic abuse, have been through the smear campaigns, been through it with the flying monkeys, we understand who you surround yourself with is who you are. And I'll tell you what's something that I learned begrudgingly, that I learned throughout my life, which is if you see a cluster of people, no matter how good they may be, no matter how good to you or how good you may think they are, if they refuse to disassociate from a toxic person that they know is toxic, stabbing, smearing, narcissistic, whatever the case is, if they refuse to detach themselves from that, that says something about the whole crew. It is what it is. I have cut entire crews out of my life because they refuse to stop working with people who are toxic. Not going to do it. Not going to have that in my life. Not going to share my energy with that. That's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy. Manginas are just the Simps with the NPD. Yeah. Yeah. Manginal Simps. Manginas, let me tell you about, I've dealt with a lot of manginas for the last 4 years on YouTube. Manginas are the one who thinks that they are the alpha of all the slags. A mangina is the alpha of the slags. All right. He or thinks he's an alpha. They're actually betas. But he is the one who will talk trash, just like a toxic group of women, just like hateful women. He will be there to talk trash. He will be there to smear somebody. He will go and talk in the cut to try and devalue someone's name. Right. That's a mangina. Dealt with a lot of manginas in my time. Call them manginas to their face. Manginas don't like it when you call them out. We here at Dragonstorm, we men here at Dragonstorm, we are the opposite of manginas. We are men. We come at people straight up. You talk straight to their face. You got a problem, you confront it. You have an issue, you speak it. You know when and when not to speak. You do not attempt to control other people. That is a weakness. The Emperor in reverse is a weakness. The King of Wands, the King of Cups in reverse, Pentacles, and those are manginas. Those are weakness. That is not a strength. And any person who co-signs to a man who acts like a selfish female is not somebody you want to associate with or have in your group. And you don't need to call them out all the time. Remember that, brothers and sisters. You don't need to call these toxic people out. You don't need to unless they come at you. And even then, you can decide whether or not to respond. Your fortitude, your personal strength, who you are, knowing your worth is king. That is queen. That is top tier. That is not needing to respond to some people. Sometimes you just understand who you are. Let your work, let who you are, let what you do speak for itself. I cut out an entire communities of toxic people, y'all, to build Dragonstorm. And I've got to 10K on my own. And I'll get to 20K and 30K and 50. We will grow this thing together. Because the people that I have resonated in and brought together in this community, people like you, people like Deborah and Sergeant Pepper and CJ and Andy, people like Coyle and people like MC Mike Does. Where's my other brothers out there? Where's Druid? Where's Druid at? Where's my people from across the pond? We have attracted each other together because we're on the same mission. The mission of healing, self-discovery, importance of self, leading by example, being the best versions of ourselves. We have resonated ourselves in. And I'll tell you what, the more powerful this community grows, the more we will repulse manginas and slags. The more we will repulse hateful people. The more we will repulse the dregs of society, toxic others. You see them every now and again, the toxic ones come through and pop into the chat. They don't stay for very long because we understand our worth and who we are. You say train wreck, here's my train coming behind. Dig it. CJ says, sometimes the flying monkeys are the issue. Sometimes narcs can grow up and stop being narcs, but the flying monkeys keep the toxicity going because the flying monkeys are immature. Well, that comes down to understanding who you surround yourself with. Narcissistic people can better themselves. Toxic people can better themselves. I'm a big believer in the redemption arc. I love the story of Anakin Skywalker. All right. I mean, he was one of the worst of the worst in modern mythologies. But who brought Darth Vader back in the end? His son, Anakin, his son, Luke. How did that happen? Because Luke never gave up. Luke was a shining example of what a good person was. That's what brought true family love. All right. Men being men, real men. When it comes down to this, and this is the thing, and CJ, you probably understand some of the crews I'm talking about. There are crews out there that I love. There are people in some of those crews that I really do love, and I know they're decent people, but they refuse to stop hanging out with toxic people. They refuse to stop working around and working with manginas and hateful biddies. And I cut them out. And I work as little with them as I possibly can and need to, any. A person who is toxic can easily be brought back into being toxic or narcissistic, absolutely, because they already have a predisposition to those behaviors. And if you continue to surround yourself or work around or operate around toxic people, it will make you toxic. It will bring that toxicity back. This is why cutting people out, going no contact, not letting them in your lives is so important. You have to cut them out. You have to cut them out. Because if you do not, they will drag you right back down. When you are around someone, you're bettering yourself, and you feel someone with a negative pull, when you feel someone who is completely just doesn't feel right, they are against your messaging, they are against what you are trying to do, when you know you are working in the right direction, let them fall off. Cut them out if you have to. This is so very important. Thank you, CJ. That was it's a great comment, brother. Deborah says flying monkeys are funny and pathetic. They're pathetic, but they can do damage if you let them. And they're going to do damage anyway. Toxic people are going to do damage anyway. Because this is just who they are. This is what they do. And they need to break you down. They want to break you down and make you feel less than your own worth. This is how they consume your energy, by turning it negative, turning it toxic, by putting you on a low vibration. Shine high. You can be a warrior and an angel at the same time. One wing dipped in blood. All right? Love. There's aspects of the Christian pantheon that I absolutely adore. And one of them is that concept. Angels are warriors. They're fighters. Love that. Zombie Box says, I would love to see a body language expert announces the body language and tics of these narcs. I mean, I'm sure that they do, but you have to understand that when you're dealing with these narcs, some of these narcs are very good at faking. They've been faking their whole lives. You know, they're about deception. That's why it's hard to diagnose them unless they go and they're honest and they allow themselves to be diagnosed, because they've been faking their whole lives. They're not about real. They're not about being real and being honest. But you know what? A body language expert, I would like to learn more about that. I've been studying dark psychology. We're going to be talking a little bit in a few months about my Mirror the Narcissist era. And I still get comments. This is crazy, y'all. To this day, I'm still getting views and comments on some of my Mirror the Narc stuff from Instagram and TikTok. And it's odd having to walk back things when I talk to people in the comments. Mirroring narcs, like we're going to talk about that in a few months because my perspective on that's really changed since I raised my elevations, to elevated myself. Um, Mirroring a narc is like that's like should be in the moment. In the moment, I'm worse than you because I'm honest and I can kick you right in your broken inner child without hesitation. Why is my hold on, y'all? Okay, my plugged in. Hold on. And battery saver's on. Doot, 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 doot. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Shit. Is it plugged in yet? I don't even know. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, now I'm plugged back in. All right, for a second there, I thought I was going to end the stream now. Um, sorry about that. Technical issues. I'm a YouTuber, by the way, and a professional. Um, I would actually like to get into that because I was learning about dark psychology and studying psychopathy and things like that so that I could be be a better narc than a narc, which was like the opposite of what I'm really trying to do. But in the end, like when you have to do something like that, it should be like in the moment. Really, it should be like a scare tactic. And um, honestly, kind of leans more into the psychopathic aspect of it because narcissists will capitulate. A regular narcissist will capitulate to a malignant or a psychopath because they understand they're stronger. They're like they'll destroy them. Narcissists are weak. As soon as you, this is why they get so upset when you go no contact. This is why they get so upset when you stand up for yourself. They're weak. They're weak. They fear strength, and the only way that they can go back after, the only way that they can respond is to be an erratic, careless child. It's crazy. I know. That's something else I'm going to look into. CJH says exactly. Flying monkeys sometimes are more narcissistic than the actual person who started the drama. Yeah, yeah. Saber, Daytona, those motherfuckers. Yeah, yeah. They're horrible, and they're not Narcx's friends. They're not her friends. They love drama. That's all they want. They only care about drama. Shout out to Courtney. Deborah. Deborah talks about the body language. Okay. Backlund talks about the body language thing. All right, cool. Well, I'll check that out. The only person from across the pond is this chat at the moment. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're here. All right. I'm coming over. The Trainwreck Express. The Trainwreck Express is going to come through Britannia one day. We're going to come over there. Got a lot of narcs over there in your country, too. It's fucked up. The term simp is new to me. Oh, man. Well, there's a lot of simps out there. There's a lot of simps out there. And a lot of that has to do with men not understanding their worth and not knowing how to deal with women. And most especially dealing with toxic women. Guys, so my God, yo, little off topic, but I was watching I, Tanya the other day. And I'd seen that movie years ago because I'm 46. I was around during the whole Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing that went down. But I'm watching I, Tanya. Guys, if you haven't seen it, watch this movie. It is about a freaking narcissistic borderline, all right, being raised by a narcissistic woman and then getting with a narcissistic guy and getting a shit beat out of her every week. And I'm watching this and I'm understanding because Tanya Harding's mom was straight up narcissist, living through her, living through, pushing her to be a figure skater, pushing her to be everything that she wasn't, living through her, but always talking down to her and always talking bad about her and always devaluing her. And it's just this, she could never do good enough. And that reminded me of a hypothetical person I used to know. And then Tanya gets with a dude who's a narcissist who's like, I'm going to kill myself if you don't stay with me. And he's beating the crap out of her and he's threatening his own life and he's acting like a grown child. And she's covering for him. Tanya Harding's covering for this dude that she was married to, covering for him, got blood on her face, covering for this dude from the cops. And like the things that she would say, like she's sitting in this car in this one scene after she went back to him again and again and again because she's a narcissistic borderline. And She, her husband's out there talking to the cop and talking him down and all this stuff, and she's in the car and she's bleeding from her face, and she looks at the camera and she says, and he can talk his way out of anything. I don't understand how he can just talk his way out of anything, because he's a narcissist. They're a bullshitter. That's what they do. Um, but this whole thing reminded me of the scenario that I went through, that I hypothetically went through, and the hypothetical people that were involved, and I really understood it. Like, it's crazy how we go through narcissistic abuse and then we look at media or hear stories from others, and it's like, I get it. Oh my God, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I understand the toxic disorders that are happening in this environment. So there's another movie that I can't watch, or I mean, I probably will, but it's like another movie that I watched again, and I was like, oh my God, like I was a fly on the wall for this whole thing, and it with other people. It's crazy. Uh, let's see. Truth demands integrity. Truth does demand integrity. My brothers out there, as I've said many times, guys, I was preaching about this at the beginning of the stream. Gentlemen, it is so important for us to push past the pain, understand our worth, do what we have to do. All right? Truth demands integrity. Lead by example. Betterment for yourself, because our sisters out here who have been through it need to know, while they are cruddled, post-abuse, no contact, trying to find themselves again, they need to know that there are real men out here. There are real men out here. So once again, brothers, we got to push through the pain. We got to push through it. We got to take that load to bear. We have to keep moving and bettering ourselves, improving by example as we better ourselves and treat these women the way they deserve. Treat our sisters the way that they deserve. That there are real men out here. My love to y'all. He says, but I get the picture, a boy in a man's body who always simps to mommy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, a grown toddler. That's what I'm saying, Mike. Like, we're not like them. We own our shit. We're not trying to lie and smear on somebody. We're not trying to destroy other people's lives. We're not trying to use women in a controlling way. I mean, sometimes we're just trying to get laid. But I mean, we're not doing it in a way that is devaluing anyone. And these narcissistic men out here, they're just ruining entire generations of women. They're just ruining entire clusters of women by being fake ass grown children, abusing, cheating, lying, smearing, trying to turn people against them, trying to like just devalue them. Too many times, Mike, from my brothers and my sisters on all my platforms, all Dragonstorm platforms, too many times. Too many times do I see people saying, I don't understand my worth. I can't never trust again. I don't know. I don't want to be in another relationship. I've been single for 5 years because I'd rather be happy. I'd rather not be with anybody. It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful to be happy by yourself. You should be. You should be content and happy by yourself. You absolutely should. To not engage in something you want deep down, a connection with another human being, to not be in love with someone who values you and both people loving one another, that's horrible. That sounds to me like a sad existence. It's not something I want to live in. I'm pushing through my pain. I'm going to force myself to trust. I'm going to force myself, because the woman who may come through in my life is someone that might be there for me. I don't want to be so closed off and so living in pain that I can't have her, that I refuse her, that I project what I have been through with another toxic woman onto her. I'm not going to do that. And it's a shame. We gotta bear the load. MC Mike does. We gotta bear the load again, man. We gotta push through. We gotta be those strong men, examples, leading by examples for our sisters out here. My love to you, brother. Search what FBI, CI folks say about body language is like what people lie. Yeah, I've kind of gone through a little bit of that. I have, actually. When I was studying dark psychology, I kind of eased up on that for a minute. CJH said, exactly, Luke brought Anakin, but the Empire were scattered all around and don't stop the fight even after the fight is engaged. Right, because they're the flying monkeys. Right, they're the flying monkeys. Palpatine was a malignant narcissist. I would say Palpatine was a narcissistic psychopath. That's what he was a narcissistic psychopath. Really. Palpatine was top tier. top tier evil, you know. And he molded and manipulated Anakin like a narcissist does to a child, you know, put him through situations that made him that just like made him confused and made him lean more toward the dark or believe more in the dark, other than believing in himself and trusting in the Force and trusting in God. You know, the Force, aka Source God. Um, but Luke came along, and Palpatine never had any influence on Luke. And Luke was trained by people who were good, healthy human beings. Um, Zombie Box says, one half, some individuals from CG slums were stream sniping Jesse and Kai recently. Those individuals are filled with hatred and envy, and those who are unhappy with their own lives should resort to such. Well, you're talking about Kai. Kai tried to convince my narcissistic ex to have me arrested. Kai is a toxic individual. So I hope whatever the fuck evil comes his way comes his way. And if I ever see him in person, he's gonna lose a couple teeth. But Jesse Milestone, I love my Jesse Milestone. So first off, we're talking about Comicsgate. Comicsgate, they're a bunch of toxic people. They're all narcissists. They're all narcissistic. Comicsgate are evil. They're evil people. And they don't care. They're celebrating their evil. They do nothing but drama streams. They stream snipe to drag other people down. They stream snipe to go after other people. They do these things because they are nasty individuals. All right. If you are involved in Comicsgate, you are supporting narcissists. You're supporting narcissism. Just straight up. Despicable actions. Their actions stem from emptiness and jealousy towards others' happiness. They're narcissistic. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And they're run by a self, you know, Ethan Van Sciver says, hey, I'm a narcissist. Ethan Van Sciver said that plenty of times. You can see it the way he's coming to Eric July, the way he's trying to destroy another creator who has more success than him. And again, now I'm not saying all, but a lot of the people who are attacking Eric July are all toxic people. They're all just on the same bandwagon. So I don't have anything to do really with anybody who is engaged in that smear campaign. I'm not going to be involved with anybody who has anything to do with that smear campaign. But yeah, I mean, that's a great example. That is a great example. It says they're getting married this month. Who's getting married this month? Jesse Milestone and Kai? I thought Kai was with somebody else. And maybe it's a different Kai. Maybe you're talking about somebody different. What is up, Angela? Good to see you, sweetheart. How are you doing? Hello from Angela. I remember your name now because I told you over and over again to tell me. I actually remember your name now. But thank you for doing it because I asked you to. Isn't it strange how that happens? Good to see you, sweetheart. If I didn't live in the UK, I would have attended their wedding. I don't know whose wedding. I'm not exactly sure whose wedding. Whose wedding? Who exactly? Like, am I talking about the right person? Because if it's a different, I know there's more than one Kai out there. Will Smith is a simp. Will Smith is a simp. Will Smith is locked in toxicity because Jada Pinkett is like top tier narcopath. Simps need to remember that corn is free. Oh shit. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Zombie Box. I would love you to come to the UK, mate. I'll buy you a couple of pints. I'll have a good chinwag. I don't know. That's okay. I think that I'm going to take that as a positive thing, Andy. I don't know what that term means. I'm sorry. I am very, very American white. Very. Absolutely, dude. We're coming through there. Male simps are the fuel for female narcissists in mass. Let's talk about OnlyFans for a minute, shall we? Let's talk about that. I'm watching this video about a woman who got into porn early in her life. You know, she was like, at 16, she was trading herself around for different favors, and she was like she was working like they were like thieves, like low level criminal shit. And she gets into porn, and then she gets out of porn to start being a social media personality. You know, going to OnlyFans, things like that, and like basically frauded thousands of people out of like $1 million by promoting something. Again, I can't remember what it was, but it was promoting something that she was creating that was supposed to gain value through time. And all these simp dudes gave her like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And then she frauded them. She's like, the project she was working on never went anywhere. And then she went on, right, when she needed more attention, this narcissistic woman went on to have a baby with somebody. Because while she was doing porn, she was married. Imagine that. I feel bad for any dude who is married to a porn star. I feel bad for any dude. Um, I mean, I was with a whore that I had hope in. I saw the best in her while she was sleeping with a drug dealer, sleeping with all these other people. So that was embarrassing enough for me. But could you imagine being a dude who's married to a porn star? Can you imagine that? Then she goes off. She has a kid, and then she's going on podcasts talking about I'm a single mother and he doesn't help at all. And just narcissism, narcissism, narcissism. And then eventually she goes back to porn. Um, being a simp is not a good thing, y'all. Now, talking shit, flirting, having fun, that's one thing. But giving your money over to these toxic females is what is making more narcissistic females. In the same way that fourth wave feminism, present day feminism, is creating narcissistic women. In the same way that the progressive movement is horrible for young people and telling them, look, you can just cut off your wiener and put some boobs on. Like there's the gender confusion that's going on with these toxic people. It's all about destruction. It's these psychopaths and freaking narcs and sociopaths and fucking just toxic people that are trying to spread their pain. And they use flying monkeys. They use like the weight and leverage of other toxic people in the media to propagate their bad ideas and shame people into accepting things. And you see those toxic people online. You see those toxic parents that don't care about their kids, that are giving their kids hormone injections and shit like that. Like, what are you doing? You're destroying this person's life. You're creating a suicidal person. You're grooming and growing a person to be suicidal at some point. Now listen. Just for a little clarification, I think gender dysphoria is an awful thing. I mean, I couldn't imagine living with that. And there have always been a segment of the population who have been he-she's or she-he's. There have always been, that's always been a thing. It's a small part of our population that has always been like that. You can call it an aberrant genetic disorder or whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but it's always been a thing. It's a human experience. To take a segment of the population like that and thrust it to the forefront and then use it as an excuse to spread mental illness and damage is disgusting, and it's also meant to destabilize and destroy we as a species. Let's see. Deborah, thank you for translating, CJ. I think that simp is the same as a cuck. Simp is the same as a cuck. The thing is that a simp, I don't think a simp actually gets laid. Cucks actually get laid. But like it's the same realm of like effeminate male, of weak male, you know. And just to like, because I've got a little bit of degeneracy in my background too. Just to clarify a little bit, like you can be a swinger and not be a cuck. You know what I mean? You can be someone who is polygamous and not be a cuck or a simp. But like true cucks are like person A and person B, right? So for a while there, I was simping. For a narcissistic woman. Okay? Yes, absolutely. And you could argue at one point or another some cuckery, some cuckoldry being involved. Absolutely. 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 But her primary supply, the guy that beats the shit out of her, is a true cuck. A true cuck. He buys her cars. He pays her bills. He lets her stay there. He's building a room in his house. In the house, it's not his house. They're all criminals. So they're squatting. He's building a room in this house they're squatting in. And she runs off and cheats all the time. He does too, don't get me wrong, but she runs out and cheats all the time and comes back and give me money, daddy. Give me money. Gets the crap beat out of her, gets, a new windshield, gets some new tires, gets whatever she needs, and then like he is a true cuck. And the reason is that overt male narcissists have these mommy issues that they hate themselves, they hate women, and they love that degradation. So he actually loves being a cuck. He loves the fact that he gets walked on and treated on and tied up and pegged. He loves it. And then, more power to him, motherfucker. More power to people doing what you want to do. But don't be a toxic piece of trash who annihilates other people's lives or tries to destroy other people's lives while you're doing it. If you're going to be a cuck, be a cuck. If you're going to be a simp, be a simp. Don't be a narcissistic one. Don't be a narcissist doing that. Like, I truthfully don't care. I think it's funny. Now I do. Now that I'm past it and I'm beyond it. Cuck is different. Cuck is a man who listens to a man bang his wife. Yeah. I mean, cuckoldry, swingers, though. I think swingers is a bit of a different thing. Polyamory, polygamy. I think that's kind of a different thing. But if you're just like a dude who doesn't, who just like gets off on other men banging your girl, like, and it's for degradation, it's for self-degradation and defamation. That's cuckoldry. That's cuckoldry. Like I guess maybe I wasn't being a cuck because I wasn't letting anyone go cheat. They were just going off and cheating. So maybe not. Thank you, CJ. That's got me something else to think about. Cuck is more of a fetish. Simp is more of a degenerative character disease. Well put. The only time I disagree with cuck argument is when people say that stepfathers are cucks. I don't agree with that. It takes great strength for a man to take the place of a deadbeat father. Yes. And I agree with that too, because I have been with women, shit, my life. I have been with women who have had kids, and I've been that father figure for it, because that's what a man does. If you're going to be with a woman who has children, those children are now under your care. So you're right. I think that, and men who say that that's cuckoldry are weak men. They're toxic men. They don't believe in them. They're angry men. They're angry men. They're men who have let themselves be abused by women, and they took it like, excuse me, men who have been abused by women but took it in a negative way, took it in a very negative way. That's a weakness. That's a toxic behavior. That's a toxic way of seeing. Now I know dudes who have had that outlook, and I just don't argue with them. I just don't even bother talking. I'm like, you're hurt, dude. You're hurt. you're so hurt inside. You can't understand. The real love is real love. It's like earlier when I was talking about men, we got to step up and be examples for our ladies. And it rubs somebody wrong in the chat. That's because of your own fear and your own insecurity and your own damage. That's where your negativity is coming from. That's a lack of self-belief, or that's something unhealed in that person. Because the divine masculine and the divine feminine complement one another. All right, straight, gay relationships, whatever it is, the divine masculine, the divine feminine complement one another. And sometimes the reason that we have this dynamic is because sometimes one needs to be stronger than the other, not in a domineering way, but in a supportive way, in a complementary way. Sometimes we've got to. That's why I said, dudes, part of our makeup is sucking up pain, taking in damage, getting over shit, pushing through the pain, stuffing it down, and moving on. Sometimes we have to do that. And so the message for today really has been, my brothers, we got to do that one more time for our sisters out here. We got to be examples that they're good men out here. Because on the back end, that's going to help us. When we have enough strength, courage, determination, forthright, fighting for ourselves, leading by example, being better people, being real men. And we are going to attract a woman who appreciates that, and who's going to be the supportive feminine that we need in our lives. Let's see. I'm going to end it here soon because I have several streams today. I'm going to be on Sporky News Podcast later on. After that, I'm going to be on Snow Dub Music and Entertainment. Then I'm going to be on Immortal Coil for Savage Spirituality. And then tomorrow, guys, please stop by Sage and the Savage. We are looking at Professor Sam Vaknin tomorrow. In love, some people really don't want a mate. Some people really don't want. I mean, we all walk different paths. But as the general mainstay, Angela, to deny that you don't want that in your life when you really do, that's you know, in my because I do. For the longest time, I said I don't want. I can't trust another woman. It's always a failure. It's always something wrong. I'm always getting cheated on or left or not valued. And that was because of something that was wrong in me. That's because I didn't have enough value or self love for myself. I absolutely do. I do want to find. I still have hope that I will find that love in my life. I absolutely do, and I need that. I don't need that, but I want that. Again, there's a difference between needing and want that, right? Needing that means you're desperate. Wanting that means you're looking for it. So if you never want to be with somebody again in your life, that's on you. But I think it's really robbing you of a true life connection with another person because of the damage that was done to you by a toxic person. Like that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Kai, yeah, Kai, yeah. Well, no, he ain't gonna tell that. He ain't gonna say that, and I kept quiet about it for years. But yeah, yeah, yeah. He was trying to convince her to call the cops while I was living in Florida and get online harassment charges put on me. Yes, Kai's a backstabbing worm. Yes, and that's the truth. Um, Jesse Milestone had an incident with Gary and is it with Jeff? Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. I'm not getting into that. I love Jesse. Jesse's my friend. Gary's my friend. Jeff is my friend. They're all my friends, even though we don't talk all that much. I probably talk to Gary more than I do the other two. But I seen Jeff out there on Instagram dressed up as The Rock, looking good as shit. Hail world class bullshitters. Um, that's where this gangster ship started. Kind to do with the Mohawk. I mean, if he still has one, yeah, the guy with the Mohawk, yeah, yeah, yep, that's him. That's him. Yep, yep. Yeah, he was involved. He's involved in a whisper network along with other people. Has been for years. He smear campaigns others, destroys other YouTube's credibility. Does it from behind because he's a weasel. And he gets involved in drama. I have the DMs where he asked me while he was trying to convince Narc X to call the cops on me and have me arrested for online harassment. He was also sending me messages asking me if I wanted him to be my spy in the chat groups that she was in. Yeah, yeah, he's a worm. That's a toxic. That's a toxic person. Don't let it be fooled. And if anybody has any questions, I haven't released the DMs, but I have them, and I will absolutely if I need to. But I don't need to. If I ever see that weasel, he's gonna get four Walton knuckles in his fucking face. Absolutely, piece of shit. Um, let's see. It's Brit slang for a good chat. Okay, all right, all right. Unfortunately, human trafficking is what fuels the industry. That is very true, and politics and other things. Um, let's see. They need that clarity. Stop thinking with your junk. Ah, man, what the hell? I need that. Let's see. Ben Affleck's daughter came out as trans. Hollywood, bro, sister. Sorry, Hollywood. They live in a culture that exasperates traumas, that confuses gender, that traffics certain types of people, that performs rituals, Luciferian rituals, that does evil. They're evil. Hollywood is evil. And so that's why you see a lot of these actors, kids, so effed up. Look at the Smith kids. They're effed up. It's something I still fight against. It was something I was doing in the Phantom Menace was fighting against all that. But the reason is because the culture that Hollywood exists in, much like politics, much like royalty across the West, has to do with trafficking, peddling, and destroying a certain segment of our population, using them. From Nickelodeon to Disney, this is what they do, and this is why they do this. This is why you see these beautiful young women turning into men, and vice versa, because they're being destroyed, they're being abused and used and campaigned into rejecting their connection to source, to God, and embracing degeneracy. Remember to support your independent creators out there, guys, your independent news networks, your independent comic book creators. Remember to support those who are fighting without the mainstream media position, um, who are all toxic themselves and they're all under the same umbrella, because it's so very important. This is where we're going to find the future of our modern mythologies, the future creatives, and hopefully it will lead to a golden age of creation. Because what we're getting from Hollywood, what we're getting from American politics, the ideas that are being pushed by people like the United Nations are all bent on deviancy, and they are all built by toxic, narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic, awful, selfish, hedonistic people who want to destroy our generation. They want to destroy whomever they can and make children more available to people who want to hurt them. Speaking of spinning, I do see a bowl of the background filled with car keys. Let me tell you something. About 15 years ago, every weekend there was fun at the Walton House. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. Um, let's see. Well, good for you, sweetheart. You keep laughing. I saw an interview between Lee Hammock and his wife, and I could see how stressed out his wife was. Really? Really? You think I like Lee? Is Lee like fucking her up still? Was it an old interview? Because I kind of hope that Lee's a good dude, to be honest. He's like one of the dudes I follow. That tease Walton because I'm fond of him. He's good people. Thank you, brother. I mean, and man love isn't gay. Man love's not gay. When I see you, Andy, I'm going to embrace you, and it's going to be a tight embrace. All right, I'm talking hip to hip, bro. All right, not docking, but close. Okay, like that's how we roll around here. Um, let's be real. How many of us opened our eyes to narcissism and spiritual truths with the help of legal weed, sister? If anybody lives in the Philly area, we selling. Um, yeah, yeah, and mushrooms too. To be honest with you, honey, mushrooms really help to open up my mind. Um, Mushrooms will um, will stabilize your brain chemistry. And psychedelics, as we know, you're a mystic. I could tell that you're a mystic. As you know, mystics use psychedelics in order to break down the 3D and enter the 4D or higher. So it's something that I utilize in my own practices. Let's see. CJ says, I choose to be single for the most part because it's hard to choose. I have to find someone who I really love. Love yourself first, work on yourself, because if you continue, that's what I'm doing. I've actually shut down. I am staying celibate and single at the moment, and that's because until I have worked on and fixed myself, I am not looking to engage with another woman. Like I'll flirt, I have fun with y'all in the chat, choo choo coming through and all that, I do. But I mean, that's just having fun. Until I am ready to re-engage, until I know my own worth, and I've produced and I'm productive and I feel good, and uh, then because I don't want to bring in the same type of toxic woman. I don't want the same toxic relationship again. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done running through that. But I absolutely am. I do want to find somebody. I'm single because I think men move too fast. Some men do. Find the right one. There are men out there that will slow down, that will acclimate to your speed, or that are set at the same speed you are, Angela. There absolutely are. All right. There's like almost 9 billion people in this world. All right. There is absolutely a man out there to match your energy. Um, so yeah, take your time. That's what I'm doing. Like I'm not trying to say jump in bed, y'all. I'm not trying to say something like that. It's just uh, understand what you need, your worth, what you're looking for, who you are. Fix your childhood traumas, fix the traumas that the narcissist did to you, or and then become the best version of yourself. Become your authentic self, and then it'll happen. It'll come to you. I mean, Angela, I'll be honest with you. I am a banging on the first date kind of dude. Like that's who I am. And I've actually gone into relationships like that. Now, whether or not those relationships have lasted, obviously I'm single, or how long they lasted. Like my speed, I can back down. My speed can go, fourth date, fifth date. My speed can go 1 month. But like I mean, yeah, it's from we're all set different. We all have different expectations. We all have different comfortable levels of comfortability. So, like take your time. There's definitely a dude out there who will take his time, honey. There's definitely a dude that will take his time out there for you. Harioda over the top. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh Maybe someday someone will find you, CJH. Yeah, thank you, Deborah. Men want sex too soon. Men want sex, period. Men want sex, period. Um, I love sex. I absolutely love sex. Um, but I've learned how to, obviously I'm not doing it right now. Well, I'm only friends with Jesse's. Oh, I appreciate that. No, Jesse's cool, man. Jesse's cool. Jesse and I had a falling out once, but like that was a while ago. Like I said, author Stephen Walton channel was mindless entertainment and Overlord DVD in one. I love Jessie Milestone. I love her fire. She's a Philly girl. She's from my area. Um, see, that's the boundaries thing. Or tell them ahead of time you don't want to take things slow. And if those guys don't respect that, they don't respect you and kick them to the curb. Absolutely, Deborah. Thank you for preaching, sister. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, I couldn't have said that any better. Female narcs also. Oh, I believe that may be very true. Um, I don't believe that I engaged a narcissist that was like that, but you know what? You know what though, Mike? You know what though? The one I was triangulated with used to always point the finger at me and say that. You know what, Mike? Holy shit. That's crazy as shit. Like he would point the finger at me and say that. Ew. Projection, y'all. Wow. Oh my God, dude. The scary thing is they believe it's normal because they believe they are also, yeah, they're also children, and in the belief of being a child, they have no responsibility either. That's the damn truth, Mike. Oh my God, dude, you just gave me some shit to think about. I don't even want to think about it really, but like, yeah, that's insane. I don't wonder, I don't want to know, but like, is that going on over there too? Oh my God. I had always suspected because there's a child involved in that situation that child was eventually being groomed to be the next supply for him. It's that I don't know. I don't know. It's not because of the damage that was done from past relationships. I just feel like, oh well, hell yeah, man, you live that shit, Angela. Yeah, enjoy that shit. Being comfortable being alone is paramount. It's the most important thing. Be comfortable being alone. If you're not, then how can you be comfortable with somebody else, right? Like that's how codependency begins. So good for you, baby. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that, sister. I'm kind of in the same vein, like right now. Like I'm really comfortable being alone myself. Illuminating says my own personal opinion is to to all my fellow survivors take Lee Hammett with a grain of salt. Take any narcissist. I don't care if they're self-aware or not. You take them with a grain of salt. But the amount of like Tudor, like with Tudor, the one thing that I really liked about Tudor is that he's honest about his deception. He's honest about it. He says, I'm doing this content and talking about other narcissists. I'm getting negative fuel from exposing these other narcs. Thank you for being honest. Like shit. Um, Lots of protein mushrooms for the brain, but microtoxins can get to be harmful after a while. Yes. Well, that's why I don't do it all the time. I will do it once a month. Well, maybe once a month I'll do it. Maybe twice. I can't say that there hasn't been like a week where I've been like, done shrooms a couple times or whatnot. But as I've gotten older, I have found that the things I really liked to do when I was younger, drinking, smoking weed, and doing other stuff, isn't as fun to me as anymore. It isn't as fun anymore. I used to love cocaine. I'll do cocaine every now and again, but then it's like I'll do it and I'll have fun in the first couple of hours, but then I'll realize why I don't like it anymore. Same thing with drinking. Like I'll get high from drinking, and then I'll stop drinking because I'm like, oh my god, the headache and the after effects and this. And like, why am I doing this? This just this it's just not worth it. Pot puts me to sleep. Pot puts me to sleep, man. Shrooms. I do it medicinal. I do it for medicinal purposes. So I do it before I perform, when I meditate, um, ceremony. When I'm looking for answers, when I'm dream walking. But I won't do it when I'm casting because or doing anything like creative because I don't. It doesn't work in that vein. But yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's psychedelics because they push back. They push. They push you out of 3D. It breaks down the walls of reality. You know what I really want to do? That's what is that stuff that I can't think of it. The stuff that like Jim Carrey does, and Joe Rogan. Oh my God, something DMT. DMT. I want to do DMT once. I just want to. I just want to do DMT and see what it's like. I tried to, but the weed got dried out. Oh, well, I mean, I've never done pot tea. I've never had tea. I've never actually had tea. But gummies are the shit. Deborah, gummies, girl. Listen, my mom is crazy. I love her. Hi, mom. I love you. She's crazy. My mom's crazy. Gummies chilled her out. Chilled her out. I'm telling you, I love it. I'm like, mom, pop some gummies. I love you. Give me a hug. Love you. Uh, let's see. Anything else? Oh man, thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Super sticker vibes. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. I don't really look for. I appreciate anytime y'all give me a super chat. I really appreciate it. Helps the channel go. Helps to grow. Helps to fund what we're going to be doing here. If you are interested in being a channel member, I have a ton of stuff on the channel members section. If you're interested in it, there are some videos or live streams that I take off, that I take down, and I put them just for members, after I record them. I also have stuff going all the way back to the beginning of the channel, including one live stream, a tarot live stream that I did with NarcX, if you're interested in knowing who that person is. And my ups and downs, all of the ups and downs are all for channel members. All the shit that I shouldn't have said or shouldn't have said or shouldn't have done or have done, it's all there. All of it's there. The implosion of Steve Walton. If you're interested in that, and the other videos that I've done, that's more personal, please check them out. Channel members, greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. I'm a bud tender. Oh no, yeah. Listen, at Lodonis on Twitter or X, whatever they call it now. Hit me up if you would. I'm in the Philadelphia area, actually doing that now. So, if you are in the Northeast, or if you like, we have connections for um, shrooms that are not available, a strain that is not available in the Northeast at the moment, or in our part of the Northeast at the moment. Also got connections to some really incredible bud. So we're kind of flipping that right now. And if you're interested, hit me up on Lodonis. Appreciate that. Well, thank you. I know we're gonna do. Immortal Coil was asking about us doing going on Spotify and doing that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to expand out. I think I'm going to expand out Dragonstorm on Rumble and Spotify. It's time to grow this thing. It's time to go full on. Let's see. Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah, Mike, you coming on to me right now? Mike, MC Mike does. We accept man love around here. Man love isn't gay. So if you're coming on to Walton, I understand. We can embrace. All right, hip to hip. No docking. We can embrace reach arounds, astral reach arounds. This does have little baby, and all back kisses here too, bro. No back bites. All right, we truly love one another. All right, man love isn't gay. Love you, man. All right, guys, I am gonna go get dinner because I am going to be at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sporky News Podcast. In the description, there is a link to Scott's channel, Sporky News Podcast. Then I'm going to be on Snowdub Music and Entertainment, along with the rest of that wacky crew, myself and Immortal Coil. Looking forward to that. Hail Trans Fat, and that's going to be around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at 2 a.m., I'm going to be on with Immortal Coil Eastern for Savage Spirituality. That's 11 p.m. Pacific Time. Or in the morning for my brothers and sisters across the pond. Come check us out. And then tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be doing The Sage and the Savage and taking a look at Professor Sam Vaknin. Come to find out, like this dude's like a little bit Trainwreck Express. I have to say, I think he's a little bit Trainwreck Express, which is really good. And Trainwreck Express is us going across the country, Mortal Coil and myself, telling you all about your worth, filling souls and stuffing holes. And we're going to be sleeping on your couch and eating your food, and you're not going to want us to leave. And it's going to be great. And we're going to get together and we're going to get this done. Once we get the channel to 50K, we are going to begin traveling around the country and to see you guys. Maybe have a couple speeches, seminars, whatever. Mortal Coil and I are at this moment investing in becoming life coaches. Want to get some certifications under our belts and move Dragonstorm forward. I mean, if I'm going to make this a healing channel and a healing space for all of us, then I really want to be fully invested in that. And I love this. I love this job. I love what I'm doing now. So thank you guys so very much. And thank you. Much love to you. See, what would say Jeff said I had a great voice for streaming. I actually hate my voice. Dude, then it's good. If Jeff said it, then it's good. If hail the world-class bullshitters, if Jeff said it was good, then it's good. All right? And thank you very much. I really appreciate y'all. My love to y'all. Make sure to... Oh, that's right. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian. You're a historian born in the chats with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. I am also Lodonis, Raven, Wolf, Dragonstorm, Ysir, and Sage. Hail to all my fellow survivors and thrivers from narcissistic abuse. Remember to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and never again suffer those fools. Love yourself.